And in both Parsha Shoftim, which is the mitzvah of appointing a king, and in the book of Shmuel, where they appoint a king, the Barbanel discusses the comparative merits of democracy versus monarchy. And the Barbanel says, not like the Rambam, that appointing a king is not a mitzvah at all, because the Torah says if the people ask for a king, this is what you give them. But there's no mitzvah to ask for a king, and there's no mitzvah to want a king. And the Barbanel says, he's very autobiographical. He says, from his own personal experience, he sees how despotic kings are, and how unreasonable they are, and how cruel they are. And at least with democracy, you have elections, you have turnovers, you have term limits. And therefore, people are afraid to be dictators when they're in power, because a few years later they'll be out of power, and the same thing can be done to them. And his model of what would be an ideal government system were the Italian city-states, which actually had democratic elections and the like, and that's where he went after he left Spain. So it's interesting that the Rambam Shita clearly advocates monarchy as the desirable form of government if it is subservient to the Torah. The Barbanel considered monarchies, out of his personal experience, to be dangerous, and elected representation was much more conducive to the betterment of society. So the Barbanel really speaks to the modern political philosophy of looking for democracy. Again, I have to say, the Barbanel is not a posek, and therefore I wouldn't say that his teachings are definitive, but it's a very, very interesting perspective. Now, let me mention yet a third view, the view of Rav Kook. And Rav Kook says that that the idea of a melech is lav dafka, a hereditary monarchy, but melech is whatever society accepts as its operating government. And therefore Rav Kook would say, halacha allows societies to have a melech in different forms. You can have a melech by a single person that's a king, or you can have a melech by a representative form of government, or you can have a melech by three branches of government, let's say like the United States. So that's Rav Kook's chiddush, in which he redefines melech not as monarchy, but as a centralized form of government, and the Torah gives societies the freedom to structure the government in the way that is best for them.